Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another broadcast. Today I want to talk about Invincible Iron Man number 4, or more specifically, how there are no lengths Brian Michael Bendis won't go to convince you that Riri Williams is Iron Infallibility Woman. I'm going to breeze through the recap because there is a lot of commentary. Long story short, Techno Gollum and her Biohack Ninjas have stripped Riri Williams and Pepper Potts of their armor. Riri, the teenager with zero superpowers, laughs off the threat with, "Ninjas, are you kidding me? Honest to God, real ninjas?" She then says the fight, even though she has zero skills, might be, quote, awesome. All right, Pepper tells the girl to run, and somehow the platoon, or perhaps company of Biohack Ninjas, lets her get away over the building's ledge, at which point she sneaks inside. She borrows a guy's laptop, brings up AI Tony, asks him if he has done the super awesome thing she already knows what to do to defeat them, and he says, in theory. And when she presses him on it, he appears as though he didn't really know how to beat them, and she tells him that she needs a suit. He then calls for one from his lab. Riri then tells the stranger with the laptop to hit enter on the device when AI Tony gives the word, uses a fire extinguisher as a smokescreen to throw off the Biohack Ninjas who apparently freeze at the sight of a fire extinguisher, and then the issue ends with her asking the kid if he followed Tony's instructions. It should also be noted that Pepper put up a good fight, was thrown around a bit, but somehow survived the ordeal long enough for Tony's armor to arrive on a cliffhanger. Here's the deal. Anyone who has read Iron Man over the past couple years knows that Tony has faced off against the Biohack Ninjas and has generally had his hands full in his armor. They sliced and diced him in issue number 3, and he had to resort to desperate measures to get out of the jam. They sliced Rhodey up in issue number 8 before Tony and Spider-Man arrived in the nick of time. And Techno Gollum was so darn good that Tony says in issue 8, "I don't have a way to stop this," right before the villain detonates right next to him. He shows up alive at the end of issue 9 in a disguise, and Bendis never even answered how on earth Tony survived the blast. It's never addressed. He just did. The point is this. These guys were good. These guys were great. These guys were professionals when they faced off against Tony Stark in his freaking armor. They are Biohack Ninjas. And yet Riri Williams, some kid with zero self-defense training, does not totally crap in her pants when they arrive. Perhaps it's because they turn into drunken foot soldiers from an animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon when they're around. I.e., Bendis ramps up her infallibility and their ineptitude in order to sell this super crazy, awesome, never rattled because she's Riri superhero. This was a golden opportunity for the child to realize, holy crap, without my armor, I am totally vulnerable. I could die in the blink of an eye. I could be extinguished by ninjas as I hold this stupid fire extinguisher. Is this really the life I want to lead? Is this for me? But no. Instead of thinking about her own mortality, as any sane person would do when it becomes obvious that they are at the total mercy of their attackers, she just is super awesome Riri again. This is Exhibit Z942, Why Marvel Has So Many Problems. To recap, she's a genius. She's smarter than Tony. Everyone who meets her loves her. She isn't visibly scared for her physical safety in the face of Biohack Ninjas with laser swords. She's witty. She's funny. She's everything you ever wanted in a hero because she decided to take on global terrorists when her best friends died from gang violence in Chicago. And she has all this technology, but apparently Bendis still hasn't done one issue where, she confronts actual gangs in Chicago. But I digress. I can't buy this book after 6 issues. I'm done. I'm out. I'm moving on to the relaunch of Spectacular Spider-Man because Mr. Bendis has shown that he has no shame when it comes to shilling for this character. He actually does her a disservice by turning her into Iron Infallibility Woman. The more he does this, the more I do not like her. And it has nothing to do with her race, since trolls seem to think my enjoyment of Deathlock and Blade and Rhodey and Cardiac and Storm is all cover for some latent racism the moment I criticize lazy or agenda-driven comics. This has to do with writers who are so blinded by their idolatry of the diversity gods that they cannot see how they're destroying their credibility. I don't even know what else to say. Anyway, that's about it for now. Let me know what you think about Iron Perfect in the comments section below. And as always, if you've liked what you've seen here, then head on over to douglasernst.blog for more coverage just like this. See you next time.